what it is, everybody. Thanks for tuning back into another episode here on the Speedbug channel. Got the ZL1 here behind me, and it's been a pretty good reveal so far. All of y'all seem to like it. Seems like I made the right choice. And I want to go over a few things with you guys because this wasn't the only car really in the running. And the other couple cars were a Hellcat Challenger wide body, and a car I've always wanted, which was a Viper. And then of course we had another ZL1, which was going to be the 1LE. And then last but not least was the new Mustang, of course, with the 10-speed. Now, each one of those cars really had their ups and downs, and one was all better in one category than the other. Now, there was none, well, if I kind of said that backwards, that's not what I really meant to say. There wasn't one car that was just better across the board. Each car did something better than the other. And I ultimately decided to go with this car. But the Mustang, with its price point, was better than all of them. And for sure, you know, I'm going to list two things about each car, which the Mustang was definitely cheaper than all of them and was more fun to drive than all of them. That is 100% for sure. When I had my Mustangs, for sure it was the most fun to drive. Doesn't mean it was the fastest or handled the best, but it was really the most fun to drive. The Hellcat wide body, where it excelled, it was by far the most comfortable car of all of them. Not that this car is uncomfortable and any of the other ones is going to be uncomfortable, but that car seriously rides like, in the seats and everything, it's like you're sitting in the Silverado. It is freaking awesome. It is freaking amazing, and it's fantastic. Another good thing about the Hellcat is its looks. It is freaking sinister when you see it. It doesn't matter what color it is. The two colors I was really after was going to be, I think is it plum crazy purple or crazy plum purple, however you say it. The Mopar guys are going to ridicule me. Or black, but either one, it was going to be the wide body, and I loved it. The downside, obviously, to that car, it was by far the most expensive, and it was $20,000 more than this car. The 1LE version of this car, the pros for sure was the aero package. Absolutely, it was freaking amazing. Was awesome. Another cool thing about that car was, of course, its stance and everything like that, and it was very exclusive. The downside to that, it rode like shit when it was on the street because it doesn't have magnetic ride or anything like that because it's pretty much a race car. And then, of course, we had the Viper, which its pros were 100% the looks. It was just as unique, and it has a great power by being naturally aspirated, and there's nothing else that's going to sound like that V10. Its downside was when you drive it 5 minutes after getting out, being in it, is you really can't get out of it. It is another race car, so it kind of rides like shit on the street as well. And then we had this car. Its pros were its price point. It was kind of like the medium price, but price really wasn't like the hugest factor to me. It was a car that I wanted to be able to kind of do everything. And this had the 10-speed. This has magnetic ride. It's got rapid acceleration for a stock car. It's got great brakes. It can still go around the track very in a respectable time manner as far as time. We're talking keep up with Lamborghinis and GTRs. If you guys don't believe me, for the ones that are watching, check the Nürburgring times and stuff like that. You'll be surprised on where a ZL1 comes in if you already don't know about it. But again, it wasn't just necessarily to try and be the fastest or anything like that, because hell, the Hellcat is faster than the ZL1 in a straight line, where the ZL1 can turn better. So each car had its pros and cons. And I really chose this car, and I thought this car was going to be the right fit for me because I wanted to drive this car a little bit more often than I drive the Trans Am or the Corvette that's under the cover over there, because the Corvette is now pretty much a full-blown race car. Just because it has lights and heated seats, it doesn't mean that it's a street car. No, it's a full-blown race car. You don't drive a car that makes well over 1,000 wheel horsepower, and on the street and try and have fun with it when that thing will take down, I'm not kidding you, will take down this in a straight line. And one day I'm sure you guys are going to see this. For the ones that don't believe me, that car is faster than that bike even on the top end. Say what you want, but whatever, don't believe it. So that's why when you want to play with that car and get room and you want to go, it accelerates so fast that by the time you get going, you have to stop because you're going to kiss somebody else in the ass. And then you have so much money in the car and you don't want anything to happen to it. So now it's not really enjoyable, and now it's more of a track car, which makes sense. The Trans Am makes roughly about the same power as this, and but it's an NA car. It's a little bit rough for the street, but that's also, again, you have a 20-year-old car versus, you know, a 20-plus year newer car. And, you know, technology with the chassis and everything like that. So, but also to make that kind of power out of a 5.7, and this makes it bone stock out of a 6.2 with a blower, you got to, you know, take all things factored in and also into consideration that it's really not much of a street car. It's awesome, it's fast, and it's lighter, it does great, but it's still more of a toy car and more of a weekend warrior. And with this, it's got the scoot, it's got the transmission, it has MPP exhaust and stuff like that. So this car really fits the bill well. As much as I dislike Camaros, but I have to tell you, GM really did their homework on the ZL1 and even the 1LE by being a track car to really make this car more comfortable and more enjoyable. Which, guys, stay tuned for that, how I'm going to actually compare this to having this versus the Vet, and which one do I actually think is going to be the better car. But not in this video. It's that one saved for another one. But I really chose this. I really like this one. I love the way the looks of it. I love the way it handles. Of course, everyone knows with the visibility in a Camaro, it just sucks. Yes, the visibility in the Corvette is better, but the visibility in this thing just sucks. But there are cool features and things like that that now it's been updated to come with, like your blind spot monitoring, your collision avoidance system. The rear view mirror changes into a full camera, so you can see a huge wide angle of behind the car versus the little opening that you can only look through to actually see behind you. So there are some things that really do help, but again, there are some things that just suck. Even when you want to see it, you know, I'm a little over 5'10", and when the seat's on, just the windows are very small, which look awesome. It looks sporty. They're fantastic. They're great. But you sit really deep down in the car, and the doors are really tall. So it's almost kind of like sitting in a tank. You really can't see very well out of it. Not that the Corvette is much better, but the Corvette doors are lower, but the whole car is lower itself. So the Mustang, riding in that, and kind of the Challenger, that visibility is better than both, but not much improved. Anything that's going to have a coupe with shallow windows and stuff like that is just kind of sucks in period, just to kind of see out of it. But yeah, I chose this car because, of course, I am a, you know, I love all cars, but I do like GM. That is my brand of choice of the big three, but I wasn't opposed to getting another Ford or hell, getting a Dodge. And to me, this one just went over. But who knows? Maybe if I can, once everything goes well and get a bigger garage and more land and more space, which that for sure is going to be coming soon. But maybe then I'll get a Hellcat. But until then, I'm going to enjoy this one. And this car is pretty badass for the little bit of time that I've had it. And many things to come with it. I'm definitely not going to go crazy modding it like I have with some of the other cars. This will simply be like a bolt-on car, and you can make 850, hell, even 900 horsepower reliably and comfortably with this, even with the stock blower. So if you increase this thing by 200 horsepower, that's more than enough for the street to get you in trouble, and it's going to be more than enough to be snappy when you got 10 gears to back behind it. So it's a pretty rowdy and badass car, but I really do like it, and you guys will really be sure seeing this on the channel a lot more often. So, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and hell, maybe there'll be some other future cars or something. Maybe I might trade one for something else in the future. You never know. But those are some other couple cars that I was shopping around at the time. Yes, they were all American. Not that I hate import cars or anything like that. No, I've had them. Everything from something fast to something slow, whether it be a Civic Si. I had my ISF, which was one of my most favorite cars of all times. Super sleeper, had that joker souped up, making around 600. Thing was fantastic, great standalone ECU and everything. Yes, you have to have standalone because it's impossible to tune. Yes, I know, I had it all. It was freaking awesome. The ISF, the seats were comfortable, everything. That car was tits. But just wasn't always the car for me. But you know, hell, AMGs, everything like that. So I do like import cars, just not domestic, meaning domestic to where I am, local in the US. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's gonna wrap it up here for today. Facebook, Instagram at the Speedbug, same name here as YouTube, and we'll be seeing more of Cinderella here on the channel soon. Peace.